You have always spoken very highly about Bangladesh's achievement, particularly in the social sector, and you have written books on that. Uh, would like to know how we can improve these achievements in the coming days, particularly given the present context.
Well, I think it's not right to say I've always spoken highly. I've also written about the Bangladesh famine of 1974. I have, um, as they say in cricket, I've been providing a kind of running commentary. And in some ways, um, it has been very pleasing because on the economic front and on the social front, there have been huge progress. Um, I think the issue of democracy remains a difficult one in Bangladesh because it's engaged in a kind of fight where it's difficult to get our way from um, denunciation to a constructive agenda, and when that converts into sporadic violence of throwing bombs in buses, then that political dialogue is completely killed off. On the social and political side, however, there have been very big progress. On the economic side, for example, Bangladesh has overtaken India firmly on a number of criteria, including life expectancy, child mortality, infant mortality, as well as girls' schooling. And I think it's important to see how that has happened. Uh, and on the and the social and the economic here are very closely interlinked. I think the fact that the Bangladeshi politics um, allowed a kind of encouraging view of every human being counting as having a voice, um, a woman and a man, a person with a lower class and a person in a more favored class, favorable class. I think that played a part. It's not equality in the full sense, not in any way, but the voice of the deprived and the voice of the women have been much more articulate in Bangladesh than in the average of India. India is a very big country. So if you look at in Kerala and sometimes in some ways like Tamil Nadu, and in some ways even West Bengal, you see much more articulation than you might find in say UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, even Punjab. So I think that's one of the factors. The fact that it's related to your first question, namely how to present the case, how to clear thinking and clear articulation. That's happened a lot in Bangladesh, and I take it in a small way. Organizations like CPD have been involved in that too. And so I think that played a part. I think the government often listened to that and was influenced by it, and that's to its credit. Uh, but you need to present before the government the demands of the people about the social and economic side. And there have been a kind of communication on that, which has been very important. I think the NGOs have been very important too. I think sometimes we don't see the role of the NGOs. I think the VAC was, of course, the pioneer to get into it. But I think VAC, the Grameen Bank, and other attempts, including Ganashastra and so on, there have been a constant attempt to relate public activism to social and economic change. And that's important. Now, I think the big thing, of course, that people always ask you is economic growth. Now, can Bangladesh improve on its economic growth? It possibly can, and should it? Yes, it would. It should. Its growth rate is not very low now. On the other hand, it's still lower than India's. On the other hand, the fact that growth is not sufficient is brought out by the fact that while India has increased its gap with Bangladesh in terms of per capita income, it actually lost out in the battle for the human development aspects of economic progress.